Hello, religious education adult volunteers for grades 6th, 7th, and 8th. They go through the schedule and then the in-person materials. Those are gonna, what those entail. So you've received a PDF of one of these three, whatever grade you're on, to teach in person. This is the 6th grade one. They're the same cover image as the kids, except it's on a colored paper. It's just white. So yours is distinguished. So you can find it easy, as well as yours is the answers in. So don't keep it away from the kids. You'll be, one of these will be in during the pickup day on September 8th. It'll be in the your family's materials. This will be in here. It'll have your name on it. There'll also be one of these down here at the office basement, where there's the 3 classrooms for 6th, 7th, and 8th. There'll be a copy that says "Do not remove from office basements." It'll stay there. So if you forget to bring this, that's fine. There'll be a copy down there as well. So just going into it, the schedule, if you're going to print off anything with the PDF, it was just really page 2 and 3, even though you'll be getting this whole paper copy later. But right now, if you want to print it off. But I'm gonna, just for reading this, I have the in-person sessions, the Zoom sessions, the kind of the time frames. And Nick and Dan are teaching 7th grade. I'm sure it's on the screen. And then the second, these are the adult volunteers. Either one adult, there's just a nameless, and that's the second adult for Zoom. So Julie Novak I have for the first couple ones with me, because I do the Zooms and want everybody all the kids to get to know who Julie is, our new religious ed coordinator, connect name and face. And for 7th grade, it won't be till October 6th where the adult volunteers for 7th grade are the in-person will kind of start. And you'll meet, and there's the lesson here. So invitation session 4, so it's a video discussion lesson. And if we move down to the next in-person one, there's confession and adoration. We'll be at the church. I'll send an email beforehand, so if you're like, I don't know what this means, Father, what's that? I can't find that lesson, or that's not in here. Don't worry, I'll explain it. But most of them are, the next one down here is the creed. That one's in here too. So these are the packet for the fall and working on the spring. We'll have that to you hopefully by latest at your in-person session in December. And give you a hard copy of that for the spring. But with the in-person session, it may not match with the second adults. So I have Misty here. She has a 7th grader. She's teaching in 2nd grade, but she doesn't have a child in 2nd grade. So I'm like, well, put her on Zoom, second adult with where her child is. And Nick, actually, he has a 1st grader, him and his wife, so I put them on for kind of to help out with second adult Zoom on kindergarten, 1st grade. So that's why they don't always match, but those are just the second adults, and they kind of just alternate. And here's the time when your kid logs on, you log in with them, and you be on the same device or different devices. It'll be the same link. And then, so hopefully if you have any questions about that, please do. It just kind of goes throughout the rest of the year, back and forth. Yes. And then the in-person session, so the fall in-person session materials in here, so for both October and then December, because we'll be over at the church for November 3rd. Those are here. So, all right, here's lesson for 7th grade, October 6th lesson, You Are Not Alone, session 4, invitation session 4 begins, and it's the next 10 pages here. So the next one, so all of this is for that session. There's some really, some of this, it's almost more than anything. There's a lot of optional stuff, all the campfire. There's some things you can use as icebreakers there if you want. You don't have to. Use this at your discretion of helpful. The helpful thing here is really with the video discussion. There are questions kind of to ask for discussion. To prompt. You don't have to do all of them. But between the video segments for the sessions are on form.org. You can get them on there, and actually there's a link actually in the PDF, and so it's So right here, here it is. Here's the there's the link for, what should we call it, the form. And also there's online, there's video links too of the different sessions under the grades. So, but you can watch it before, if you want to watch it beforehand, just so you're familiar. And there's two of you you can kind of figure out who's going to, if there's going to be kind of alternate teaching, or if one of you is going to do the kind of lead, lead. So it's between you and the other adult can determine that for the in-person sessions. If you want to alternate, or if one of you is just more confident doing it, you can decide that. So there's questions, questions for the, and then some closing stuff. So that's really, really it's just preparing for kind of the discussion. Even some of it, you're like, well, you don't. So yeah, a lot of the prep is just even just watching the video and looking at the questions, and that may be enough. Maybe not even that. You're going to show up and there's the video and stuff, the questions, and just go along with the kids. Also there's the last page. This is questions that I've come up, content questions. So if you want the kids to be more engaged, like they got to really be listening to your video and stuff, or you have the answer key, and there'll be these half sheets. I guess it's easier. Half sheets of them without the answers, and so you can kind of go through them. This is similar to what they have on the Zoom for their virtual stuff. I've made content questions for them, but if you want to, they won't be bringing their packets, but I am printing off these questions if you choose to have the kids have at least a paper copy, or even to fill them out during the video. So those are kind of the two resources for the lesson. The video discussion for it's so there's not a whole lot of really prep work. If you want to watch the video beforehand, most of the videos are about 20 minutes in length, kind of the entire for that evening. Just if you want to be acquainted with it, and then ask that two other things. So there's kind of the video discussion, and if you're downstairs, some of the week, if for the most part it'll be some component of prayer. And either the rosary, part of the rosary, or the Divine Mercy Chaplet, just to pray that, to set aside 10-15 minutes. If you want to do that right at the beginning, if you want to do that right after the video discussion, you can do it like the last 15 minutes, that's fine. You can decide how you're going to kind of arrange your class time. And then kind of in between that, there's, if you want to say filler stuff, I have, these will be downstairs, copies of these, and you'll have one in your, each of the kids will be getting one of these to take home, but there'll be some of the copies downstairs. Do not remove. I'll have one of these so you get two, and but really, I know the sixth grade they aren't in in the confirmation program. They're going to get this. They're going to have this too as an access resource, and so I encourage maybe your discussions and stuff will go long enough that you don't need to. But if you're kind of like, okay, we have 15 minutes here, what to do? Pull this out. Pull some of the questions out here, and have the kids look up the scripture passage. Kind of write them on the board. Write the scripture passage up. There's compendiums. There's also catechisms of the Catholic Church. That's what the CCC, the compendiums. I think I have some of them downstairs. I can bring some downstairs. I'll make sure there are a couple downstairs. And then UCATs. I may have a UCAT for each grade. So those are, so you can look at this question and look, okay, what are the scriptural things? What's kind of some of the things the church FYI, the CC's, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, that can be more dense. So I encourage maybe the compendium and UCAT would be in the scripture passages, kind of stick with those. But there's Bibles downstairs, all the same edition. So I just, kind of even to check it off when you've done this one, so that, you can just get maybe through a couple of them. It's really meant to be filler, but, it's the pertinence of kind of them just finding stuff in the scriptures and kind of seeing what does the church teach on these different things, where do they get it from scripture, and So you'll have a copy of these, so you can either use it as filler or even prepare. You can even prepare. Well, we'll plan on hitting this question, these 2 questions, and kind of looking more depth into it. If maybe the topic that they're on is on one of those things. So there's 50 questions for every Catholic teen should know. So I hope that's helpful. It's a lot easier. Using video discussion and stuff is a lot easier than having you kind of creating a whole plan or having to create really this whole lesson plan stuff. It's kind of all here. The questions and stuff, you're just guiding the discussion to go deeper, and then just those components of prayer and the kind of this little booklet here, kind of getting through that. Maybe this is the first year I'm using this. I don't know why I didn't use this in the past. I found it like a year or 2 ago, but maybe the 6th graders will get through a lot of them, that good portion of them before they get confirmed. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please contact me, and computers and stuff downstairs, I'll make sure they're running every time, before each time. Just make sure everything's all synced so you can just get in and start. So good. God bless.